He is crazy. He is old. But is he a coot? It's time for the Crazy Old Coot.
This is a modern turntable. Lower mid-range. It's about $250. It is the Monolith by Monoprice. It's a belt drive turntable with an Audio-Technica AT-VM95E cartridge, which separately is $70. So it's not too bad of a deal. This turntable, you've got your 35-45 RPM switch and your start and stop switch over here. Those are on the cheaper side, but they work. And you have your carbon fiber Tonearm. The Tonearm itself is pretty decent. The only really chintzy part is this, and that's your anti-skid or anti-skate, but it works. The Platter is a little on the light side, so you may want to pick up one of these. It's just a weight with a level on there. But it works really well. This is a pretty light Tonearm. Of course, I've got it balanced. And on that note, I mean, it works. I guess this is sold in different brands. You know, they're all come from the same factory in China. So here is the back side. Your on-off switch is here, and that's not bad. Your DC in 12 volts goes in here. It comes with a power module. It's on the cheap side. Upgrading that would be one of the things you might want to think of doing. Your USB jack. Now this switch is Phono and line, and we'll get into that later. These are your Phono out, line out jacks, and your ground. With your Phono line out jacks, of course, you'll need to hook it to a computer. You'll need one of these cables to plug it in here. And you want to switch this to line and plug this end into your line in jack on your computer. And it works fine. I've done it. Now, if you want to do Phono, you would do this and you'd use the double jacks and connect it to like the USB Phono that I had on my vintage set, which is kind of defeating the purpose of getting a modern turntable, in my opinion. And last, you can direct connect USB. This is like the style of USB that printers use all the time. I think it's C. You plug that in there and plug this into your computer USB port, whichever one you want. And Windows picks it up and identifies it, and it works great. I mean, it was literally plug this in, plug it into my computer, come up, make sure this was the record, and it worked fine.
For those of you who're not quite familiar with computers, okay, what do we have here? This is the picture of the sound control panel, and we're in the recording screen. And this is where you can select your default devices. So right now I've got the turntable USB microphone default device. Now if I wanted to line in, I would right click it, select it to be the default device. That's simple as that. And then you just go with the flow. This first graph is from my vintage PL550 turntable going through the USB Phono Plus. We're going to use this as a baseline just to compare the other graphs to. The song is The Offspring, Let the Bad Times Roll, from the Let the Bad Times Roll album. This graph is the Monolith Turntable using Phono out, going through the USB Phono Plus. The highs fall off almost in a line, but you have to remember this cartridge is not broken in yet. This is basically a brand new cartridge. This graph is the line out from the turntable, the Monolith Turntable, going directly to the line in of the computer. The graph is fairly close to the Phono Plus graph, but the high end is cut off a little bit, which could be caused by the computer hardware. Last graph is the USB out direct to the computer USB port. Again, pretty close, except the high end is back to around 23 kilohertz. Now, when I compared all three audios, and I compared them soft and loud, they sounded pretty darn close. I don't think you would notice the difference if you were just listening. You wouldn't say, oh, that sounds crappy. If you were comparing them with headphones, you might pick up a little things, but I really don't believe so. So this turntable at $250 with a $70 cartridge is a pretty darn good deal. And I wouldn't hesitate to use this. In fact, I'll probably use this turntable for the next few videos I do. This is your Crazy Old Coot wishing you a good evening.